Every year, millions of birds travel through our region as they migrate with the changing seasons, but some never make it to their destination. Many die or are seriously injured after crashing into windows, and according to one study, Chicago is the deadliest city in North America for migrating birds. But some folks are trying to change that.
Why don't you go down there and check inside that alcove there, and I'm going to cross the street and check this side.
On any given morning during migration season, Annette Prince and her team of volunteers can be seen patrolling the streets of downtown Chicago. Carrying a net and lugging a big bag, Prince is visually sweeping the edges of buildings, looking for birds, dead or injured, that have collided with one of Chicago's numerous skyscrapers.
Birds don't perceive glass. They see it as an open area when it's clear, and they don't avoid flying into it. Essentially, having flown all night, they're looking for a place to rest for the day, find food. Just kind of like you've driven your car all night and you're looking for a place to stop to rest and find something to eat. They're using the city, but the city is filled with a lot of dangerous areas that can get them in trouble.
Prince is director of the Chicago Bird Collision Monitors. Established in 2003, the mission of the volunteer organization is to protect migratory birds through rescue, education, and outreach.
We're going to walk through this alley and around. We're going to take this side because there's birds foraging over there. We don't want to chase them into the windows. See the little bird on the sidewalk over there? We're going to go over and catch that bird.
Nobody ever said catching a bird was easy.
Well, I don't see where he went. We cover about 1 square mile of downtown, and in that 1 square mile every year we pick up about 5,000 birds. If you multiply that by all the areas along the lakefront which the birds use to travel, you get into the tens of thousands of birds that must be hitting windows and either dying or being injured by it. This bird looks like he's unfortunately dead. It's another catbird, and you saw that catbird that just flew into the tree there. Can I give this to you to label, and then we'll boogie around the building?
Annette and her team get to work long before many people are even awake.
We're out here early in the mornings because gulls and crows come into downtown Chicago looking for injured birds on the sidewalk. They'll eat them dead or alive, and we are trying to find them hurt or dead on the sidewalk before these gulls will grab them as a food source.
Hundreds of bird species migrate through the Great Lakes region, mostly at night. Just like moths, they're attracted to light, so brightly lit tall buildings in cities around our region pose a real danger. No Great Lakes city is more dangerous than Chicago, but there's been some progress on reducing that hazard.
Working together with building owners and managers, we've gotten a lot of buildings to dim their lobby lights, such that in the early morning, a lobby that was brightly lit and might attract a bird inside because there were trees or plants or fountains inside, looks like a dark space and birds won't fly into it.
Since 1995, the Bird Collision Monitors and other groups have worked with commercial building managers under the Lights Out program. During migration season, tall buildings turn off or dim their decorative lights at night, saving an estimated 10,000 migratory birds each year.
This is a red-eyed vireo that we just rescued. He flew into the window several times. It's a small bird that has flown here all the way from the Amazon. These birds spend their winter in South America. The majority of these birds have what is similar to a mild concussion. Team members who've been around the city looking for birds are bringing them to the car that's going to transport them to Willowbrook Wildlife Center. They're able to rest inside these bags and be transported to where they'll be examined at the Wildlife Center, and you've got something here. And if he's flight ready and looking symmetrical and active and alert, he'll be released into a forest preserve out in DuPage County, where he'll be able to forage, kind of restore himself, get himself together, and then continue traveling north to his ultimate destination, which could be the northern United States or Canada. Twice a year, they fly all the way from, sometimes it's almost the same tree that they use up in Canada, down to the place they go in the Amazon. And taking them 20 miles west of here and putting them down in a forest there is not going to change his ability to navigate to his final destination.
In addition to rescuing injured birds, Prince and the bird collision monitors have been working with local architects on building designs that can reduce hazards for birds. Carl Giametti is a Chicago architect and former president of the Chicago Ornithological Society.
Cornell did a major study of all the major cities in the United States for bird friendliness. And what it confirmed and told us is that Chicago is actually the most dangerous city for bird migration in the United States.
Glass is dangerous for birds because when it's clear, transparent, birds think that they can fly through it. They see more space that they think they can fly to. They see sky, they see their own reflection, and they think they can fly toward an area that really is just a false reflection.
So what you can see here is we have a variety of different buildings from different eras. And a lot of the older buildings are actually more bird friendly than a lot of the newer buildings. Something like the Wrigley building here, it's a very solid building, has very little glass, and it's a beautiful ornate building. It's an iconic building in Chicago, and it's very bird friendly because there's not a lot of glass. You know, right next to this, now we see a building from a later era that is covered with reflective glass. As a result, it poses more of a threat to migrating birds.
But some newer buildings are deliberately designed to be more bird-friendly, like the Aqua Tower. The 82-story tower was completed in 2009.
Rather than glass railings and some of the other, predominantly glass features, it used just typical balustrade metal posts. Still provides a lot of visibility for the amenities of the individual units. However, those railings provide a lot of visibility for birds. So if a predominantly all-glass building can still be bird-friendly, then there's really no excuse for other types of building concepts to go ahead and employ bird-friendly measures.
New regulations are in place in Chicago that require all new buildings and renovations to be more bird-friendly. The new guidelines include such things as reducing window reflections by incorporating patterns etched into the glass or applying a special film to make the glass more visible for birds.
It's not a new building method. Window films have existed for years and years and years. We've now just discovered that there's another purpose that an existing building technology can serve.
Pam Carlson, who lives on Chicago's northwest side, has devised a similar solution for preventing bird collisions.
But we've had some strikes until I put up the post-it note. So it's a temporary solution. It's cheap. There's a ton of them up there, obviously. Some people might think it looks kind of hokey, but it works.
Carlson, a professional garden designer, has created a small paradise in her backyard, including a waterfall and stream that attracts hundreds of birds each migration season.
With water, you attract a wider diversity of birds. So now we get great blue herons. Certain warblers are attracted to water, so yellow warblers seem to really enjoy it.
Carlson says her goal has always been to give migratory birds a safe haven where they can feed, rest, and refuel to continue their journey.
Oh, you've got another one.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in downtown Chicago, Annette Prince and her team of volunteers count up the daily tally of birds whose long journeys were cut short.
I'd say it looks like we've got about a half dozen live and maybe 25 to 30 dead. It's usually a 60-40 split. It's a good day when we find more live that get a chance to recover and get rehabilitated. They're just visiting and passing through the Great Lakes area. We consider them tourists that really we want to do better as far as protecting them when they travel through our city, because it's a privilege to have them visit us and be able to enjoy them, and we would like them to have a better fate than this, and they deserve a better fate.
At Great Lakes Now, we aim to cover the Great Lakes region and the people who live here, like you. Please follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our newsletter at greatlakesnow.org.